Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. The Warhammer Skulls Festival is back for its 9th year, kicking off today. This week-long celebration of Warhammer video games features world premiere trailers, major updates and exclusive reveals across the Warhammer universe. The event also brings significant discounts up to 90% off on a wide range of Warhammer titles across platforms like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation and more. So today we pulled together 12 Warhammer games to pick up in 2025, including some absolute favourites and a few you might have missed. If you're looking for an even deeper take on this, I did the top 18 Warhammer games last year. I'll link that in the description below if you really want to dive deep. Tom's joined me on this one with 6 picks, and as always, we'd love to hear your favourites in the comments. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to say, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. You'll have to excuse that, that's just become a bit of a tradition on Warhammer lists around here. Chaos Gate Daemonhunters is a turn-based tactical RPG where you command the elite Grey Knights against the corrupting forces of Nurgle. Lead your squad through a narrative-rich campaign utilising precision targeting and a variety of psychic abilities to purge the bloom, a galaxy-spanning plague threatening humanity. You should play this if you're seeking a deeply strategic and immersive experience. With its emphasis on squad customization, environmental interactions and a compelling story, Daemonhunters offers a fresh take on tactical combat. The addition of the Duty of Eternal DLC introduces new missions, units like the Tech Marine and the Formidable Dreadnought, enhancing the game's depth and replayability. Honestly, of all the games on this list, this is the one I want to go back and check out again. I played it for quite some time back in the day when it came out, but I think I want to revisit it and give it another shot.
Let's start with Space Marine 2, easily one of the most satisfying games in the 40k universe. You're once again in the boots of Captain Titus, now a Primaris Marine, dealing with a full-scale Tyranid invasion. And while the cinematic scale here is impressive, it is the weight of the combat that really sells it. Bolters thudding, chainswords chewing through gaunts, that perfect loop of aggression as you chain executions to recover health mid-fight. Mechanically, it strikes a lovely balance. This isn't just Gears of War in power armour. The rhythm of ranged and melee combat is distinctly 40k. There's a brutality to the pacing that feels faithful to the lore without tipping it into a mindless hack and slash. The co-op campaign is a highlight too. You can drop in with 2 of your mates, each playing a different squad mate, and while the AI does an okay job, it's far better with friends. It adds a tactical layer without ever feeling too punishing, and it's still very much about momentum and spectacle. To sum it up, this game is a strong recommend for fans of the universe, or anyone who just wants a tightly built action campaign with some serious weight behind it. Sliding into the grimy Underhive now with Darktide. Fat Shark's follow-up to Vermintide 2, but with lasguns, convicts and an unrelenting industrial soundtrack. This one's a co-op horde shooter set in the bowels of a hive city, and while it launched a bit rough, it's grown into something genuinely quite impressive. It's a first-person squad shooter with some heavy melee leanings. You and 3 others take on missions across a hive, purging cultists, heretics and other nasties while juggling stamina, toughness, ammo economy and class synergies. The gunplay is chunky, the melee is savage, and the sound design makes every chainsword rev and last bolt crack feel impactful. Now, let's not beat around the bush, this one did stumble at launch. Missing crafting features, there were performance hiccups, and live service bloat, but Fat Shark's been steadily patching it up. As of now, class overhauls have landed, new missions are rotating in, and progression's in a far better place.
Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 is a real-time strategy game that immerses you in the epic space battles of the 40k universe. Command massive fleets from all 12 factions of the original tabletop game, including the Imperium, Necrons, Tyranids and Chaos, each with unique ships and abilities. You can engage in 3 dynamic solo campaigns set against the backdrop of the Gathering Storm and the 13th Black Crusade. I mean, sounds like a regular weekend, right? You should play this if you're seeking a deep and visually stunning space RTS that captures the grandeur of 40k's naval warfare. With refined gameplay, improved multiplayer modes and extensive customization options for fleets and ships, it offers a comprehensive and engaging experience for both solo and competitive players, though the player base may have dwindled these days.
Next is Dawn of War, the original Relic classic from 2004, and in many ways this is one of the most definitive 40k titles out there. If you've never played it, or it's been a decade or two since you have, now's the perfect time to dive back in. This is a real-time strategy with proper Warhammer weight. You've got base building, territory control, morale systems, and some of the best unit barks in the genre. Walk softly and carry a big gun. It's crunchy, it's brutal, and it still holds up surprisingly well with a bit of resolution tweaking. The real magic is in the scale and spectacle. You're not just building tanks and turrets, you're commanding entire armies drawn from some of the most iconic factions in the 40k universe. Space Marines, Chaos, Orcs, Eldar, and that's just the base game. It's a brilliant intro into the 40k universe in general. The campaign follows the Blood Ravens as just enough heresy, betrayal and bolter fire to pull you into that grim dark rabbit hole. The real draw for me was the skirmish mode, especially with the expansions or the Ultimate Apocalypse mod, which adds an obscene amount of content.
Popping onto the Warhammer 40,000 list next is Inquisitor Martyr. Enter the chaos-infested Caligari sector and purge the unclean with the most powerful agents of the Imperium of Man. Inquisitor Martyr is a grim action RPG featuring multiple classes of the Inquisition who will carry out the Emperor's will. This is actually a pretty good action RPG with a lot of expansion packs, and it's playable on the Steam Deck now also. I think the key aspect of this title is how much it's improved since it first came out. It really has made some serious progress. Pick this one up if you fancy an action RPG set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe.
Right, let's talk about Mechanicus next, a criminally underrated turn-based tactics game that lets you play as the Adeptus Mechanicus, 40k's weird and wonderful tech priests, and honestly this one stands apart for both style and substance. You're leading a cohort of cybernetic magi through Necron tomb worlds, balancing exploration with combat, while managing your tech priest's augmentations like a grimdark XCOM. This game really rewards you for your planning and precision. It's more of a puzzle box than a dice roll. The soundtrack deserves a big mention too. It's pure binary chanting brilliance. I seriously think it's one of the best scores in any 40k game, atmospheric, unsettling, and somehow still a little bit catchy. Narratively, it's stronger than you would expect. The writing is solid, with your tech priests all speaking in heavily glitched, lore-rich machine speak. If you've got any love for turn-based strategy, lore-rich world building, or just want something a bit more cerebral, Mechanicus is a cracking pick.
Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun is a retro-inspired first-person shooter that combines the fast-paced action of classic 90s shooters with the grimdark universe of Warhammer 40k. You play as a veteran space marine battling through hordes of chaos cultists and demons on a forge world. Armed with an arsenal of iconic weapons like the chainsword and boltgun, of course, you'll experience visceral combat and explosive gameplay. You should play this if you're looking for a boomer shooter with a Warhammer twist. Its pixelated visuals, intense gunplay and faithful representation of the 40k universe make it a standout title. Plus, with the Forges of Corruption expansion adding new levels, enemies and weapons, there's never been a better time to jump in. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed, so make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it.
Now, Dawn of War 2. This one's a very different beast to the original, and that's by design. Relic took a sharp left turn here, stripping away traditional base building in favour of small-scale tactical skirmishes. Think more Company of Heroes than Command and Conquer. The campaign is the real highlight here. You're leading a tight-knit squad of Space Marines through a sector-wide conflict, leveling them up, customizing gear, and making choices that affect who lives, who falls to the corruption, and who gets the good plasma cannon. The expansions are also worth noting here. Chaos Rising is brilliant. It adds corruption mechanics and some other very tasty chaos units, while Retribution introduces multiple playable factions and a more modular campaign structure, albeit with less character focus. If you're someone who enjoys tighter, more deliberate strategy games, or just want a campaign with some narrative weight, pick up Dawn of War 2.
Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War ditches diplomacy and dives straight into warfare, offering a combat-focused 4x experience. Choose from multiple factions, each with unique playstyles and tech trees, and battle for dominance on a procedurally generated map. With no peace talks or alliances, it's about expanding your territory and annihilating your enemies in true Warhammer 40k spirit. This is also a favourite of Tom and mine. We played it together, have very fond memories of it, and had just a great time. Now, normally I wouldn't be in favour of thousands of DLCs, but in this case I almost wanted the game to live on, and I really do enjoy playing the different factions, so I kinda let it slide. You should play this if you're seeking a streamlined, war-centric strategy game. Gladius emphasises tactical combat and faction-specific strategies, providing a fresh take on the 4X genre. Its focus on warfare over diplomacy makes it a standout title for those who prefer action-packed strategy games, and the AI is pretty decent. We also did a quick review on this title which proved very popular, and I'll link that in the description below.
Now we're talking Rogue Trader, an isometric CRPG from Owlcat Games, best known for the Pathfinder series. And yes, this one is proper 40k, heresy, bureaucracy, warp travel and all. But it's delivered in a way that's slower, more thoughtful, and honestly a little bit brilliant. You play as a rogue trader, one of the Imperium's rare sanctioned free agents, granted a void ship, a warrant of trade, and the authority to explore, exploit, and exterminate beyond the Emperor's frontiers. It's a cracking setup, and Owlcat leans into this one hard. You choose your crew, shape your dynasty, and decide how much of a tyrant, xenophile, or outright heretic you want to be. Combat's great, it's turn-based and deep. You've got initiative order, cover, suppression, flanking, psi abilities, and companions with wildly different builds. There's absolutely loads of reading, which might not be everyone's thing. I absolutely love it. Lore logs, conversation trees, mission briefings. If you're here for depth, Rogue Trader absolutely delivers. If you're into narrative-heavy, rich RPGs with the grim-dark tone and a little bit of bureaucracy, this is an easy recommend.
Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector is a turn-based tactics game that delivers fast-paced, brutal combat with a cinematic flair. Command iconic units like the Sanguinary Priest, Librarian Dreadnought and Hive Tyrant across a 20-mission Blood Angels campaign, skirmishes and conquest-style battles. The game emphasises momentum-based mechanics, allowing units to chain actions and unleash powerful abilities. You should play this if you're seeking a dynamic and evolving strategy experience. Recent updates have included new factions like the Astra Militarum, a personal favourite, featuring units like the Limon Russ Battle Tank and Cadian Sergeant. The Planetary Supremacy mode has been overhauled, offering a more engaging conquest experience since we last covered it. With ongoing support and fresh content, Battlesector continues to expand its tactical depth in 2025, a true standout amongst Warhammer 40,000 games.